Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to be back. I've missed you all so much. And in case you didn't know, on Thanksgiving, I came down with COVID. Just my luck, okay? So my husband had it first. And then he gave it to me. He had very mild symptoms. He was sick maybe 2 days. His fever never got over 100.4, and that may have just been one day, and then he was great. um like I said, on Thanksgiving Day started running a fever, so COVID here, and then it went into COVID pneumonia, and I was in the hospital for 7 days. So it's been a slow process, but I'm much better. I still have some problems with my oxygen when I first get up. It's like 91, 92, 93. It'll fluctuate, and I have to take a lot of deep breaths, and just, I guess it's where I sleep, and I breathe lightly when I sleep. And they gave me an inhaler, 2 inhalers to use when I'm short of breath. But like I said, all in all, I'm much better. Now, I did clean my craft room. Took me 2 days, and my husband did help me, but I would have to take breaks because I would start just having those cold sweats again. And so I still have to take it easy. I'm not 100%, but I'm so thankful to God that I'm doing as well as I am. I know there's a lot of people that didn't do this well and aren't doing this well. So what I thought I would do in this video, like I said, I love you all and I miss you all, and thank you so much for all your wonderful comments. I would read them when I not in the hospital. I was like out of it. But and even when I first came home, I couldn't read much. What I thought I'd do today, I'm going to just start uploading light and see how it goes. I didn't upload my Cricket Monday this week. I will get back to Cricket Mondays. I don't know if it'll be this Monday or the next one. I'd like to start. Like I said, I'm just going to have to see how this goes. That's why I'm sitting down. I thought it would be easier on me to sit down in my craft room as opposed to stand. Okay. So like I said, what I've been trying to say, you can tell I haven't done this in a while, is I thought I would show you a very small Walmart haul that I bought before Thanksgiving, before I got sick. It was when my husband was sick. And I bought this to haul the next week. I had to go out and get some groceries for us. And when I was in Walmart, I was like, oh, these are so cute. So you probably will not be able to find any of this stuff now. But I thought I bought it to show you. So I want to show you. Okay, the first thing is this sweatshirt, and I think it's so cute. I'm not short, I'm just fun sized. So that reminded me of me because I am vertically challenged. Isn't that adorable? I love it. I think it's really cute. Okay, so I picked that up. And then I thought also, after I do this small haul, a lot of you have had questions as to what I did when I had COVID, and what, just not in depth, nothing like that. But I thought I'd hit some things lightly and it might help you. So let me put this right here. And then I saw this so cute, Blessed Girl. Isn't that really pretty? And then it says, sow kindness, reap joy. And it's from Galatians. But I thought that was adorable. So I picked that up, and it's a really pretty blue. And then I picked up some pajamas. I love the camo. I think it is so pretty. So I picked this up, and I'm pretty sure that I got the pants to match it. Let's just look. Oh, this shirt. I almost forgot about the shirt. I love it. Look at this. It has kind of like these bat wings, and they had them in so many pretty colors. And I think the front is a little bit shorter than the back, but I loved it. So I picked this up. I cannot wait to wear this, okay? That's another reason why I wanted to haul this stuff today, because I thought, well, if I don't haul it today, I'm not going to be able to wear it this week. And I wanted to wear it. And here's my little pants that go with the top, pajama top. But you know, you could wear those shirts out. They are adorable. I love them. And then here's another little pajama top. It says Cuddles and Coffee. And I just loved it. And they're so soft. I really do like these. And then I got the pants to match it. And these weren't much. These were like $9.97. All the pajamas. And then, not that this matters at all, but I can wear it next year. I saw this. I even forgot I had it. Merry Christmas. And look at that, it looks kind of shiny, metallic. I thought that was so cute. And I was going to wear it, but I didn't get to. Then, like I said, not that this is going to matter, but look at these little measuring cups that I found there. They have the gingerbread all over them. And you got 4. Okay, so I picked that up. Not that it matters for this year. And then if you buy Cricut supplies, check out Walmart, because they're so much more inexpensive than Hobby Lobby or Michael's or even Joann's. And I don't remember how much this was, but part of me wants to say it was like 9 something. I don't know. Don't hold me to it. My brain is fried. But I got the Cricut Premium Vinyl Shimmer. So whenever I can, I'm going to go to Walmart to pick this stuff up. Okay. So that concludes my Walmart haul. I still am going to get to use a lot of it, except not the Christmas stuff, but that's okay. So let me tell you a little bit about my COVID illness and hospitalization with COVID pneumonia. I'm not going to get real depressing or anything like that, because nobody needs that right now. And I'm really not thrilled to go in depth. So basically, like I said, I got sick on Thanksgiving. And it wasn't too bad at first. You know, I had the fever, but my fever was like 100.4. But then it did not take my fever long to just go way up. So I was having like almost 103 fevers with Tylenol. So I started taking 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol. I was on 500. And then I said, well, that's not going to work. So I bumped it up to 1,000 every 6 hours. And that, basically with that, it would come down to like 100 and something. It just really wasn't helping that much. So, and then I was having horrible eye pain. I felt like somebody had tried to pull my eyes out of their sockets. I mean, they hurt so bad. I had a headache. It wasn't horrible, but it was a headache. And I never get headaches, so I had a pretty good headache. And I was I was cold, so I was having chills. And I was nauseated. I was so sick at my stomach. And I hate to be sick at my stomach. I was so sick. And so I was trying to get medicine for the nausea. So they gave me medication for nausea. And like I said, I was on the 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol. And I thought I needed, and I personally think that they should give every COVID patient steroids when they first get sick. I think it would cut down on a lot of problems. So I was wanting steroids. So I was trying to get them. So I called a teledoc, and because I didn't feel like going anywhere. So I called a teledoc, and nobody wanted to see you anyway. I mean, the minute you say you have COVID, it's like, eh. So I tried to get tested because I hadn't been tested, but I knew I had it. and I couldn't get tested for 3 days because they were so backed up, I guess, or people had already made appointments, and I didn't feel like going and standing in line. So I made an appointment to get tested on a Sunday at CVS. Okay. So in the meantime, I called. Sorry about that. My husband called, and he was checking on me, and it kind of kicked me off. So where was I? Oh, I was trying to get steroids. So I think I've gotten a little ahead of myself. So basically, I go get tested, and it came back, and that was an adventure. I thought that if you went to CVS that you could stay in your car, they'd come out to your car, swab your nose, and that was it. Well, I had noticed that the one day before that, I went to get out of the shower, and it was like I had been on a merry-go-round, and it just stopped suddenly, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, you don't want to fall back into the shower. So then when I was down there at CVS, I found out I had to go in to get tested. Well, let me tell you, I looked, but I didn't care at that point. I was so sick. I had on pajamas. I had on a house coat. I hadn't had a shower in a couple days. Um, and it was raining, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I had a coat over top of my head. So she comes out and comes to the door, and I have to go in. So when I went to get out of the car, it was that same merry-go-round feeling, and I almost fell. So I was like, there's something really wrong. And so I was having really bad dizziness on and off. And come to find out, it was my blood pressure dropping as well as my O2. So, and we bought a pulse oximeter that day at CVS too. So anyway, I go in there to get tested, and I have to swab my own nose, which is fine. But I'm starting to shake. I mean, just like this, my hand, I couldn't hold it. So I go back out to the car, and she comes out, and she said, you tested positive. She said, you are having some pretty bad symptoms. If they continue, you need to go to the emergency room. And I thought, yeah, I totally agree. So, I don't know if I got the steroids before I went to the emergency room. I don't think I did, because I think when I called her, she said that, and I don't even know this doctor, that it was iffy to use steroids with COVID patients. And I thought, no, I don't think so. But anyway, I think she called them in, but for some reason, and I started taking them, she did call them in. But I think it was a little bit too late, because time had elapsed, and I don't know how much time, because this is all blurred. But so I end up one night, I get up, and I've been, like I said, so sick at my stomach. And I started on the Phenergan for nausea, and I was so sick that it would take the edge off. But I mean, I was really sick at my stomach. So I was in bed, and by this time, we weren't sleeping together. He was in the guest bedroom. When he got sick, he went in there. So I got up, and I was sick, and I thought, well, maybe I just need to eat. So I went into the kitchen, and when I got into the kitchen, I knew I was going to faint. So I put my head down, and I was saying, Melvin, Melvin. And he got up, and he had to put his arms around me, and I had to keep my head down, and he took me back into the bedroom. So I said, I've got to go to the emergency room. I don't want to go, but I've got to go. And I was checking my O2, because we had the pulse oximeter by then, and it was like 88. I was like, I've got to go. So he's like, which one do you want to go to? And I said, well, let's go to this one. I thought maybe I wouldn't have to wait as long. So we go there, and the minute you get there, they say, you can't come in with her. You can't even wait with her, okay? And he said, I'm not leaving her. And they said, no, you cannot come in. So he had to go out to his car. Well, they wheel me back, and they're into triage, and they're checking me in. And when she starts taking my blood pressure, I was looking at the machine, and I saw 44 on the bottom. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's why you're almost fainting. I knew my O2 was low. And I don't even remember what the top part was, because when I saw 44, I was like, you are in trouble. So they put me in a room, and I didn't know because I couldn't see. I was starting to feel better. They gave me a steroid, 2 antibiotics, and something for nausea in my IV. So by this time, I was feeling pretty good. And I couldn't see what my blood pressure was. So they did a chest x-ray. He said he was going to treat me as if I had pneumonia. And the chest x-ray came back at that time. I did not have pneumonia. So he stopped, I took the 2 bags of antibiotics, but was given none. And then it was time, because it was in the middle of the night. Every time I had something really bad happen, it was in the middle of the night. So it was time for shift change. And my potassium was low. They gave me 2 tablets of potassium and dissolved them in 2 separate cups, and I had to drink them. So it was time for shift change. So he left, and another doctor came on. And the doctor that came, he said that he was admitting me, the first doctor did. And he said he thought I'd be fine. And the other doctor was aware of it and agreed. So when the other doctor comes in, he won't even come in my room. He has a big mask on, like a respirator, but he wouldn't even come in my room. He said, well, I've talked to the hospitalist, and she's going to let you go home. But he said, I don't know that blood pressure. And I looked up, and it was like 88 over 40 something. And or was it, no, it wasn't 40 anymore. It was 88 over something, but it was very low. I think like 50 something. Like 50, I think. So he said, I don't know about you going home. And I was like, oh, okay. So then he came back in. He said, no, you can't go home with a blood pressure like that. You're staying. I was like, okay. So I called my husband, who had gone home by this time, because he thought I was being admitted. It was back and forth. You're being admitted, you're not. Back and forth. So I said, they're keeping me. So I didn't feel bad at that time. I mean, I was feeling pretty good. So I told Mom, I told my brother. And so then the next thing I know, he pops his head in and he says, no, she's letting you go home. And I was like, okay. So I tell my husband I'm going home. So I go home, and they discharged me with nothing. Nothing at all. So I was trying to remember. This has also played havoc on my mind, okay? So long story short, I go home. I proceed to get worse. So I go to another, because I'm still trying to faint. My oxygen is still really low. So I go to another emergency room, who takes a chest x-ray and says, you have COVID pneumonia. You have white patches all over your lungs, but you'll be fine. I'm going to send you home on this antibiotic. I'm like, okay. Because I was still trotting along. And so I go home, and in just all this is happening within a short amount of time. I think like it was like the 30th November 30th when I first went into the emergency room. So then I go to the emergency room again in just a couple days, because I was starting to shake all over, almost faint, and have low oxygen. And then after that, when I went in that time, they admitted me. And they did a CT of my lungs to make sure I didn't have a blood clot. And I didn't think I did. And I didn't. And so I went to the COVID ward. And they started steroids and antibiotic, just to make sure that it wasn't bacterial. And it wasn't. They said I did have the COVID pneumonia. They took another chest x-ray while I was there. And then they gave me Tagamet to protect my internal organs. They had me on a high dose of zinc, which you would never want to put yourself on this dose, but I was on 240 milligrams a day. because you can get poison from zinc if you take too much. But that's what they had me on. And they had me on 2,000 of D3, 1,000 milligrams of C, um, something else. Oh, and then I had to have 2 shots a day in my abdomen so that I wouldn't get a blood clot. So, and then I was on oxygen. So, I was really weak, and when I first went in, I wasn't as bad as I got later. Then later, um, trying to go to the bathroom when my husband wasn't able to be there, um, I would come back and I would be almost gasping for air. So they turned my oxygen up to 5 liters, and I didn't know if what was going to happen. So they started me immediately on the antiviral infusion, and I had 5 days of that. And then towards the end, which I wish he had done it earlier, but at least he did it, I got the platelet transfusion um, from someone who had survived COVID, and they donated their platelets, which I'm very thankful that they did that. And I got that. And after I got that, I started feeling a little bit better. But at first, before I got that, they told me my lungs were actually worse. And I was like, so I didn't talk when I was in the hospital. I slept. I would drink, and then I'd say bathroom, and I'd go to the bathroom. And Mom called me. She'd been wanting to talk to me, but I didn't feel like, I kept my eyes shut. I didn't do anything. And so my husband said, she really wants to talk to you. So I said, okay. So he held the phone up to my ear, and she basically was like, I don't want you giving up, and all that. And she really kind of kick-started me. And I started, getting a little bit better after that too. So it was the combination of Mom, the platelets, and then my husband. I don't know what I would have done if it hadn't been for him. And so anyway, so I started getting to where my oxygen started coming up. So on the last day, they said, take your oxygen off. I took it off. And they said, we're going to walk you to a 6-minute walk test, and we're going to let you go home. You may have to go home on oxygen, and you may not. And thank God I did not have to go home on oxygen. And I went home on blood thinners, steroids, the niacin. Not the niacin. Like I said, my brain's dead. The zinc, a real high dosage of zinc, and then the D and the C. But I eventually had to stop taking the C. My stomach couldn't take it, and so I went back on Tagamet for my stomach. And then I had those 2 inhalers. So, long story short, again, I'm doing much better. I just get a little short of breath when I get up, or like after I clean this room, I was talking to Mom on the phone at the same time, and I was getting a little short of breath, and she says, you're getting short of breath. And I was like, yeah, I know. So I had to sit down for a while. But I am doing so much better, and I'm so glad to be back. And tomorrow I have a real treat for you all. I have a Valentine's haul from the Dollar Tree. I sent my husband early last week, I think it was, or the week before, to Dollar Tree to get me some stuff, and he came home with some stuff. And then I went out first time last week, and you might know it would be to the Dollar Tree, had my mask, had my gloves. And we didn't stay long because I told him, I said, I think I'm about done. And so we left, but I managed to get some really good stuff, although a lot of it had already been picked over. Excuse me. And then we went to Walmart the other day, and it was so crowded. I told him, I said, because it scares me. It still scares me to go out. People aren't wearing their masks. And that's very scary. Once you've been as sick with COVID pneumonia as I have, wear your masks. I even wear gloves. It won't, it's not going to hurt you, but it may save somebody else's life. So, and I haven't seen Mom. We're staring really clear of her. I would not want to give her anything. So all in all, I'm very happy. It's just going to take me a little bit longer. Like right now, I can tell I'm starting to perspire a little bit. So I'm going to hop off here, but tomorrow you get a Dollar Tree Valentine's haul, and Friday you're going to get a Dollar Tree Valentine's haul. And then I'm thinking maybe Tuesday I've got some really good Valentine DIYs I want to do. So I'm going to try to start doing them. We'll see. I can't overdo it. I know that, and I know you all don't want me to. So let me go get Maggie and let her say hi to you. She is such a ham. I'll be right back. Maggie says hi. Hi, everyone. Say, I missed you. Say, I love you. Say, I'm glad Mama's home. Yes, I'm glad my Mama's home. Say, I'm so happy. You gonna say hi to him, baby? No. Oh, well, some things never change. I will tell you something funny. I woke up this morning and she didn't have her hair. Naturally, she doesn't have her hair all over her head. But she had one ear flipped back and she was yawning like she was exhausted. And she cracked me up. She's so funny. Say, okay. Say, well, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out on YouTube. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and become a member of our family. And if you subscribe, hit that notification bell and set it to all so you won't miss an upload. So I will see you tomorrow for a Dollar Tree Valentine's DIY. Say, okay, say bye guys. Bye bye.